From New Radio Sports Network, I'm Gary Barta. That's Brian Major, and we are joined here today by Sturgeon Bay head coach Carl Waterstreet. Coach Waterstreet, congrats on last week's win. It seems like all three facets of the ball were really strong, and the team didn't seem rusty at all. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we focused a lot on offense and defense, but we also take pride in our special teams. A lot of our younger players are on special teams, and they know that if they do well, they can earn a roster spot on the offense or defensive side. So we use that as motivation to try and get them to play a little bit more and play a little bit harder, and therefore they take their job seriously on special teams.
Yeah, last week we talked about how you have a couple senior leaders, but most of the team is a younger team. So you would say that the senior leaders have shown the younger players that to get playing time, you really do have to step it up.
Our seniors are amazing. I love those kids like they're my own. They're so engaged in the team. They want to win. They want to be at practice. They want to succeed, and that's a huge part of the success of our team. Just in general, is their leadership and their ability to motivate the underclassmen to try and do better, win or lose, no matter how many points we put on the board. Our team is a team, and that's the biggest part of the battle when it comes to playing a team sport.
You had mentioned your seniors. Who are a couple of the seniors that you have a chance to just kind of highlight right now and say, because of this senior, this is the reason for our success? I mean, one game. I know you're one game in, but because of them, we're going to have success this season.
Well, you can always look. Obviously, people look at success from a wins and losses standpoint. When I look at high school sports, I look at more than that. We're trying to build not only athletes but community members too, and good men, young men, to grow up into society, and understanding that. There's bumps in the road. There's hard work pays off, that type of thing. So we're trying to grow spirit, and I can't think of the word right now, but it's that we're trying to build into them, and wins and losses will come. But to answer your question, David Zilke, Drew Bargons, Caden Letty, Mari Lyons, that crew right there is our core group of their team. And they are like the nucleus of what brings the team in together. I can't just pick one because all of them have stepped up and done a great job.
Well, Coach, you said that very well. The word that came to mind, and I don't know if this is the word you were thinking of, but it's just kind of a really, almost a beautiful culture that you're building.
Culture, yes. Yep.
To
exactly.
move forward, and that's awesome. I'm stepping in for Quinn tonight. I spend a lot of time, and I'm not trying to cross promote anything, but I spend a lot of time calling for another Clippers team that plays on a field very close to. I don't know if you're. I spend a lot of time with the Clippers the soccer team, and
sure.
in what you're talking about, I think you're going to have one heck of a team. And this is the first time. I mean, you're going back 3 years, going back to 11-man.
Yeah.
How does that? I got to ask. I know you probably have asked this till you're so many times, but how does it feel to go back to 11-man?
I'm more comfortable. I grew up in an 11-man system. Of course, when I came and helped Coach Adams a few years back, 8-man was all real alien to me. I had to learn kind of the concepts of it. Football's football, but you only have 3 linemen in an 8-man, so it's just like, wait a minute here, but. And 8-man is more of a track meet than it is anything else. You have one person to beat, and it's a touchdown. That's why you have so many high-scoring games in 8-man. So there's more strategy involved in 11-man. It's a lot more fun to me to coach 11-man. I understand it a lot more. The concepts of it and the schemes of it come to me a lot easier. So it's been refreshing for me to get back to 11-man again and not kind of guess at so many things and more be able to coach the different drills and the technique and things for the kids to understand.
Now, earlier you brought up David Zilke as one of those seniors, but another running back that you and me talked about last week in the postgame show, David Zilke and Mason Sackett, I kind of referred to him as a thunder and lightning package. How much does running the football with those two really set up the success of your offense?
I think it is the success of our offense. When you look at our offensive line last week came to play, and there's no question in my mind that they're ready to play again this week. And the hunger that our front five have are amazing, and they're the ones that open up the holes. But when you put the speed of Zilke and the decisiveness of Mason back there, it's going to be hard to stop. They really are understanding our offense. They got the grasp of what we're trying to coach. They're extremely coachable. They're great kids. They want to succeed. They put extra time in the weight room. They're the ones that we fall on for that offense to really be successful. And we build that offense around, those two guys at running back, and then, the arm of Danny Lodel and of course our front five to make sure that the foundation set. So when you talk about our offense, yeah, those guys highlight it, but it's truly a team.
Bob, I'm a big fan of, call them the front five, the guys in the trenches. So you put me in a booth. I'm watching the blocks. I'm watching the big men personally.
Sure.
So
sure.
I'll end up highlighting them a little bit more than the two-headed attack and running back and the guy who won the lunchbox last week. However, you got to have, like you said, you got to have a team effort in it. Let's switch gears just for a second. We could talk sports. We could talk football all day. Gary, he's a sports fanatic over there. Antigo, what are just kind of off the cuff? What are your thoughts on the Antigo Red Robins tonight?
They're a tough team. They have a great linebacker that we really have to watch out for. Number one, his name is slipping me right now, but he's a big kid and got a lot of success in his program. And he's all over the field when you watch him on film. So he's a guy that we really have to watch out for. Their running game is pretty strong, and that's something that we focused on this week. So some things that we have to dial in on, and if we mess up on those specific little key targets, it's going to be a long night for us. So we really have to stay disciplined and be sharp in our reads and our lanes, and hopefully we can come out on top again.
The linebacker I think you're referencing, isn't that the 6'7" Hoss that they have? Last name Gary. I only remember that because his name is Gary that I'm calling the game with tonight. So that'll be like the one name I get right all night. The rest of them I'll have no clue. No, I'm bringing a little brevity tonight. 6'7", about what, 210, 215?
He's put together. Yep.
That's an adult. I mean, that's a big guy.
It is.
And for him to be if memory serves, he's kind of playing a fullback and a middle linebacker. I mean, he can see over the line. So
right.
You got to lay a block on him pretty quick. Any other thoughts, Gary? I'm kind of monopolizing everything here.
Well, I mean, you talked about stopping that running back that they have. Your defense did have 4 total turnovers last week. How important is it to continue over to tonight's game to get the ball back and keep it away from that offense?
One of our main focuses, and we drill this heavy in practice, is our turnovers, our turnover drills. And, when we can get in the plus mark of those turnovers, that's what we need. And, when our special teams are coming and getting us the ball on the 40-yard line consistently, we get the turnovers, that's where we're going to breed success. So we really are focusing heavy on stripping the ball, on interceptions, making the right reads. Like I said, staying disciplined on defense is one thing that we focus on a lot when we do our teams. So it's we take pride in that, and we focus on the small details when it comes to that stuff.
So here we're going to do a little fill in the blank here. Sturgeon Bay wins and goes to 2-0 if you guys do what tonight? I know you talked about winning the turnover battle and watching out for the number one Hoss, but is there something specific that, besides those two things, that you come out with a win if you do this?
I think when you put our team up against Antigo, I think, it sounds kind of coach speak here, kind of cliche, but if we stay fundamentals, if we maintain good, solid fundamental football, I think we should come out on top. Our team plays so well together. We have such a core nucleus of players that have played together for a lot of years, and if we can continue to play as a team, we stay fundamentally sound, we don't turn the ball over, I think we can come out on top. I have a lot of confidence in that.
I like it, Coach. Will you give us about 5 minutes after the game? Come up and say hi?
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. Thank you very
No
much.
problem. No problem. We'll see you guys tonight.
All right, thank you.